Big Brother 27 is off to a fast start and what ended up being a really solid premiere episode. I'm talking about getting 3 comps out of the way, awarding an HOH, revealing a 17th house guest, having actual strategic conversations which we can kind of make a decent power ranking swap by, and just kind of went by in that hour and a half. We didn't get overdone character introductions that were really, really long. We got to see some actual people interact and see maybe what the house might be like when we first started. And then we got the great reveal of Rachel Reilly, the person we all knew was the 17th house guest the moment Janelle was like, I tried calling Rachel, why didn't she answer her phone? And then seeing her cameo was turned off. From that moment on, we all knew it was Rachel Reilly. And then there were some moments that you were reminded that we're still watching CBS's Big Brother, like the masked mastermind. What in the world is this? I don't know what else to say. It's so embarrassingly campy. You can't show any of your friends and family this as a positive, because they're going to be like, dude, you got issues. And I think all of us who are into Big Brother and the live feeds as much as we are, there's probably some truth to that, having issues and stuff like that. But I had a great time in this premiere. I like that we got the HOH out of the way. I think the twists, per se, of having 2 opening competitions that, one person, Zach got $10,000, and then the other person, Jimmy, got the decision to make the 4 people who played HOH, went pretty well, including because a lot of people didn't even want to win HOH to begin with, so why are we going to waste our time in a competition having that many people? I think it was really well done. I think it was paced very well. Outside the corny campiness that we didn't need and the extra confusion of if they find this accomplice of the masked mastermind, and that accomplice will exit the house immediately and will only have 16 house guests again, because Rachel is technically the 16th house guest and not the 17th. It doesn't really matter. I think at the end of the day, they won't figure out who the masked accomplice is, and it's going to lead to 17 house guests. That includes former winner, an all-star in her own right, a feed magnet, I have to imagine, Rachel Reilly, who she has the win, she has the time and the love for the game. She's going to be coming here to be Rachel Reilly on full blast, and I think it's going to make for great feeds, and that you will see here on Sunday night, us putting it on. So I'm excited. As somebody who never got to watch Rachel Reilly on the live feeds, I'm very excited to start this Sunday. So be here for that live stream watch along on the channel. But this is also about player rankings. And here are my kind of 16 player rankings to start. And now that we have 17 and we've had some game conversations, I've shifted things around a bit. Some people have moved up. Some people have moved down. Let's just go over it here pretty briefly, because I don't want to get too much in, because again, the first episode just happened. We can't go too much in. What I can say, though, is even though she's still at the bottom, she technically moved down a position, and that's Amy. She's 17. She was loud, and I just see her being a very easy first nominee for Vince if he's looking for somebody to put up there that, no drama per se. Right underneath, I still have Kelly. Kelly, I don't think is going to fit well with this cast and this crew. Again, she kind of didn't vibe off with Amy, I believe, in the beginning, so she moves down 1 spot down to 16. I think she's going to be an early boot this season still. And even moving down further, all the way from 12 down to 15 is Ava. I don't think Ava is going to be meshing with this cast very well. I think her sassiness may get her in trouble. I think some people are already bonding with others a higher amount, so I need to see the live feed. I need to see Sunday's episode to see if Ava can recover. Otherwise, I think Ava's going to be an early boot option here with Vince as HOH. Maybe there'll be some, connection there that, poor people, unemployed artists, maybe Vince will do it, but we'll have to see. 14, it saddens me. My favorite of the season, Captain Will. He didn't want to play for this first HOH, which I think was very important to try to make his group. I think he's going to be very loud. Maybe he can recover and find a good group. We'll have to see, but I'm a lot worried from Will. He went from number 7 to me all the way down to 14. Not the best debut episode for me. For Will, I think, in meshing with these individuals. Down from number 9 to number 13 is Reilly. I think Reilly is having a little good connection there, but he isn't showing me much good knowledge of the game, and him wanting to already throw it. The first HOH, whenever you're a potential, obviously, professional bull riding comp threat, I don't know if I like that move, but he did actually have a kind of a bond with Mickey, which kind of keeps him higher up than some of the people we talked previously. Number 11 is Adrian, and I moved Adrian. No, he's actually in the same spot. So Rachel comes in, he moves above a person, but Rachel bumps him down back to his number 11 spot, so he's still in the same spot. But I'm jumping up. So above Reilly and below Adrian, number 12 is Lauren. I get the jittery nerves. I don't see Lauren coming in here looking to be a big player. I think she has that timidness of a younger 22-year-old person, so I don't see her having a big chance at winning this game. Now, Zach has eyes on Lauren, and maybe a showmance will happen, and that will lube into a better, work down the road, but I'm a little bit worried for Lauren. She went from number 10 all the way down to number 12. And then, like I said, Adrian, he stays in the same spot. He almost won HOH. He seemed a lot calmer today than what we saw in his introductory video and his interviews. So if you can keep playing that calm angle, per se, and kind of just fade into this Big Brother house, I think Adrian has a chance to do pretty well. I just need to see him be calm longer and get into a stable alliance before he starts moving up my ranks, in my opinion. Down from number 5 all the way to number 10 is a Mickey. I don't know. I don't know if I see it. I think we all got wowed by that cast photo and seeing some type of winner there, but she's already kind of flirting with Reilly. I don't think Riley's going to have a big say in this house. I don't know who she's going to bond with. We'll have to see. She's kind of spunky. She might climb back up, but I'm a little timid right now on Mickey in the house. She could be an early option for a block and an easy boot early on. Moving up from number 14 all the way to number 9 is Jimmy. Jimmy won that first HOH kind of power-up that allowed him to pick the 4 people, including himself. And I feel like him and Vince are going to be fine and have kind of security there. Even though I think, Jimmy still has red flags, per se. I think with, Vinny and, Vince in HOH, I think there's a chance that he might find himself into a decent power structure and not be booted off anytime too soon. I think Jimmy might nestle himself in there, and that's why he's jumped from 14, potentially be one of the early boots, up to maybe in a majority alliance hanging around the merge power rankings for me. Down 2 spots is Zach. Zach, I give him credit because he wanted to win HOH, but he clearly doesn't know this game. He's already looking at a showmance. I think once the showmance happens, I think Zach's chances go down pretty hard if he finds a showmance. I just don't know if his head's in the game. I think he still has a chance with comps and thinking fast. I like that he kind of outthought, Adrian to win the $10,000. But even winning that much money to begin with, it feels like a reason why somebody could boot you. Is like, hey, you got money already. You don't need to be sticking around like all of us here. And that could be a hindrance for Zach. And that's kind of the reason why I moved him from 6 down to 8. Number 7 is Zay. The bromance between Zay and Keanu, and I think Keanu's just positive charisma, has risen Zay up from number 13 to me. I think Zay is going to work really well at, being a good relationship person with people in this house. If him and Keanu become kind of a pair in the house, they could be easy targets, but I think they both could be likable enough that Zay could kind of be a good shield for Keanu and be somebody that gives Keanu, gives him and Keanu more safety because they're kind of romancing together. They're gonna maybe find themselves in an alliance together, a strong alliance together. So I kind of like Zay's interactions in this house to begin with, and I moved him all the way from 13 to 7 just because I think I saw him starting to make connections that I think are going to be fruitful for the rest of the game. Down 3 spots is Morgan. My Twitch streaming gamer, one of my favorites. I think Morgan was a little bit too passive in the front, really not wanting to win anything. It's kind of a red flag, and I don't see her meshing off the bat well with some of the other people in the house, including maybe even Vince, who just became HOH. I can see her being an easy early target. I can see her maybe getting into a good alliance and playing safe. I don't know if she'll be voted out early. I still have faith that she'll rebound, have the good charisma, and find herself in a good place. But she lost some stock for me tonight, and that's why she's at number 6. Then, at number 5, we welcome Rachel Reilly. Rachel. I don't think she's going to win this game per se, but on returning seasons with, prior castmates, they very often make deep, long runs. And even like somebody who's really, experienced in social strategy games like Suri made a really deep run for 5th place. And I think that's what we might be looking at for Rachel. She's going to bring a lot of drama to feeds, don't get me wrong, but I think that in her way is kind of she uses her sword like a shield to where, do you really want to have to mess with putting Rachel on the block? Like, it just feels threatening just to put her on the block because she's going to be coming at you with loud voices, shouting, verbal jabs. She'll drag you across the mud. She's like, if I'm not going to win this game, I'm going to make sure you're not going to win this game. And I think that's going to cause Rachel to go a long way. I think, if anything, she's going to be a double eviction boot down the line when people don't have to worry about her mouth going a million miles a minute against you while you're HOH. Number 4, and it's moved up a decent amount from number 8, is Keanu. Keanu seemed to have really good charisma. I think he caught the eyes of a few people. He already has that good bond with Zay seemingly kind of forming at the beginning. I think Keanu looks like a big teddy bear to these people with his soft-spokenness and I think his soft charisma. And the fact that he feel kind of like a shield, a potential strength in terms of comp-wise, I think Keanu's going to fit very well in this house. I don't think he'll be an early target. I think he'll find his way back, and I think I can see him and Vince working out well. I can see him finding himself in an early alliance, an early power structure alliance with the HOH. And if he makes it further and further, I think he's going to build up more charisma, more energy, and I think he has a real chance at going further in this game. Now, down 1 spot from number 2 for me is Vinny. Love that he won the first HOH. I think that's going to do a lot of power structure. A lot of his high ranking is because he won the first HOH. But there's a little red flags in the fact that both, Ashley and Adrian were like, I don't really know what Vince is thinking. I haven't talked to Vince that much. I don't feel that secure with Vince. Maybe now that he's HOH, he can shore up all those people and make them feel better. But you do have to wonder, did he make a mistake there? Is there some flaws? But he's HOH now. He can maybe make his own power structure, might maybe get things moving in this game. And he showed that he is a potential challenge person that is going to be successful in POVs and stuff down the road. And he's a generally likable guy. I think the more people get to know Vince, the better he'll be. He's still my highest ranked guy. He just moved down 1 spot from 3 to 2. Up from the number 4 of my initial rankings is Catherine. Catherine's number 2 now for me. I just think she has great charisma in this house. I think she really, really has a great way of disarming people into making you feel like she's not a threat. And she has told us that she very much is ready to be a threat and to make big moves. And she understands she's going to have to make big moves to make it in this game and to win this game. And just everything about Catherine this opening night, as what from her confessionals, from how she interacts with people, from just the state of in the game, I'm buying Catherine stock. Catherine, I feel really, really good about Catherine. It's why she's bumped up to my number 2 spot now. I see the light. I see a really great Big Brother player in Catherine, I feel. And number 1, and staying number 1, because I think she felt trust from Jimmy. She clearly was building up a relationship with other people. I think she's just on top of everything, it's Ashley. She's number one on my power rankings to start. She's my winner pick, and I'm keeping her there here. I will be jaw-dropped if this Sunday we find out that Ashley is one of the 3 nominees. I think she can very well find herself into a power alliance. I think she's going to be kind of controlling things from behind the scenes. She's very smart. I think she's very friendly in the interactions we saw on the show today. She just feels like she's a social killer. And unless something happens, like Rachel gets in her way and really takes down her social stock, I just think Ashley is going to do pretty good in this game. And overall, I have a lot of faith in Ashley. I still think she's the clear favorite this season. And coming out of premiere night, I had no reason to differ for that too much to say. But tell me, guys, your thoughts on the initial Big Brother premiere. What are your power rankings like coming out of the premiere? And look forward to seeing you guys all on Sunday when we get the live feeds together. Again, like and subscribe to the channel here for those short updates throughout the next week or so. And then we'll be here with videos every Friday morning going over the weekend Big Brother through power rankings themselves. So the next batch of power rankings will be after we lose at least one person, if not 2, if the saboteur gets found out. But I don't think they will. I think we'll have 17 house guests for this season. I look forward to seeing them all on the live feeds as soon as possible. And I'm excited to see Rachel be Rachel. Oh, she better not be on that block. Please be safe, Rachel, because if you're on that block and we missed all the juicy Rachel fly feed shenanigans from this weekend, I will never forgive you, CBS. Never forgive you.